Take this opportunity to create my lecture, who will be assessing my work. I, Siabong Asbego, I am representing my human brain model. I have gathered different things that I combine to come up with a beautiful and structured human brain model. I have created my model using ordinary things that include stones, tree leaves, orange fruit leaves, together with silver coins. I will explain each part of the brain through my model on how I was creative on, on the human brain. I will explain which part of the brain is represented in my model. Firstly, the frontal lobe is represented by stones in my model. Secondly, the parental lobe is represented by tree leaves. Thirdly, the occipital lobe is represented by jackfruit. Fourthly, the temporal lobe is represented by orange fruit leaves. And also, the cerebellum is represented by silver coins. The brainstem is represented by tree leaves. And I'll also look on the functions of the part of the brain that I have used in my model. The frontal lobe, the largest part of the convex. Their central functions are to process info relating for memory, planning, decision making, and goal setting, and being creative. And I'll focus on the temporal lobe, which is located on the side of the brain, cerebellum, and responsible for processing auditory information. And I'll also focus on the parental lobe. Parental lobe is found at the top of the brain and responsible for the sense of touch and helps to determine the body position and integrative visual information. This will include the occipital lobe. When you look at the occipital lobe, this is known as the visual cortex. It stimulates visual received by stimulus and sends signal to the occipital lobes. And there are many functions that involves determining motion, color, distance, and other visual features. The importance of visual processing in learning. And we'll also look at the cerebellum. When we talk about the cerebellum, we talk about the body balance, the muscular control, the movement, and the body posture. And it is found at the back of the brain. And we'll also focus on the brainstem. The brainstem is at the base of the brain and reticular information. And its function is controlled body, breathing, blood pressure, and sleep awareness. It is one of the most important part of the brain. And I will also look on the three aspects I've learned during this creating process. Firstly, I will look at the language development, which is a cognitive development and profound implication for learning and the rapid increase in vocabulary between the ages of 19 and 31, which is a language acquisition between hereditary and environmental reflection interaction. Secondly, I'll look on the aspect of auditory development. Between the first 2 years of critical and especially after the fourth month, the brain development is, however, a lifelong process. Thirdly, the motivation and emotion. I will start with motivation. Motivation is defined as the process whereby a goal-directed activity are integrated and sustained. The motivated action include making of choices of task, even effort, persistence, and achievement. When we look further on the motivation, they are the two neutral counterparts which are reward and motivation state. And also the brain seems to have a system of processing reward. Thirdly, I will be focusing on the emotion. When we talk about emotion, there are emotion reaction that consist of four overlapping stages, namely orientating complex, emotional event integration, response selection, and sustained emotional context. This also influences learning and memory, even including the negative side effects such as high stress hormones. And I will also focus on the one aspect that I found interesting in terms of training my brain. Emotion on learning and memory. The emotion have substantial influence on the cognitive process in human brain, including perception, attention, learning, memory, reasoning, and problem solving. The emotion have a strong influence on attention, especially modulating the selective attention, as well as motivating actions and behavior. Emotion also facilitates encoding and helps retrieval of information efficiently. However, the effects of emotion on learning and memory are not always uniformly. Studies reported that emotion either enhance the impairs of learning, and including emotions have particular strong influence on attention, as well as motivating action and behavior. This attention executive control immediately. Thank you.